Hey guys, my name is Ludia Mong'are and welcome to another episode of the Freelancers Mic where we have conversations with creatives. It's all about you getting the mic and sharing your experiences. If you enjoy it, hit follow so you don't miss the next episode. So on today's episode, we have Kate. She is a fitness trainer professional and she has been in the entertainment industry for quite some time. She's going to share with us some insights on how to make sure that you have a steady pool of clients coming on your way. So Kate, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thanks for having me here, Rodaya. I am well, thanks.
Awesome. So if you were to go back in time, I understand you are multi-talented. So if you were to go back in time and start your business all over again, what's that one thing that you could do differently, maybe as a fitness professional?
Okay, it's hard to answer that because from the standpoint of where my mind goes with it is, the first thing I thought of with that is I didn't know it was an option back when I was first starting out. And really with technology, it wasn't really an option, but I think that I'd say I wish I started a subscription-based virtual model earlier. I have that now for clients where they can take Pilates bar and then a series of bonus classes that are like high intensity interval training, there's nutrition coaching and all of that. And I have this monthly platform now, but I would have loved, like now that I have it, like, oh, this would have been great to have had for years because as a performer, this is something that I can do anywhere. So if I leave town to perform somewhere, I still have that income from the subscription service and I can still film anywhere. So you can see how that wasn't really an option, 15 years ago, but today it really is a powerful tool.
So I'm a freelancer, and most of the time, what we struggle with is having a steady pool of clients. So if you are in this industry, or maybe in your industry, I know you have also had your struggles, and it could be that this is one of them. So what are those tips that you can give someone that doesn't know the next day where the client is coming from?
For I think a lot of industries and definitely fitness, there's a time and place sometimes for you as a trainer or a coach in someone's life. And some people need you long term. Like I have a client who's been with me for over a decade. I think we're at year 12 now. And then I have clients who see me for 2 months and then leave. And it's because they just needed that boost or that direction to get going. So depending on your industry and your specific job, sometimes that's just the way it is. And I think the mindset of it's not necessarily you, right? It's just the nature of the business. Some people don't need you forever, or their needs change. And so then they need someone else. Like, for instance, if someone came to me and they said, I just need overall health and fitness, I'd say, great. If then all of a sudden, 5 years from now, they decide to become a competitive runner and needed specific long distance training that was very, very runner specific, okay, then I would refer them to someone else, or they would find someone else who specializes in that. So again, it's not that they didn't need me once upon a time, but maybe their needs have shifted. That said, or someone might come to me to train with them before having a baby because I have a focus as well in pre and postnatal work and having have a baby as well, like I know you do, that's very helpful to someone. So that said, you find the people that need you at that stage, and some of them want to keep going for many years, and some move on to different goals or you just life changes as well.
You're right, because right after COVID, so many people started working from home. So maybe during that period, someone also decided, I'm going back to the office, and then you are not needed anymore.
Exactly. And coming from a fitness, an in-person fitness background as well, we used to have very big classes. I taught in corporate in New York City, which basically means a lot of these companies have full fitness centers right in their business, in their offices, which is fantastic. I mean, talk about the need for health is overall, and to be able to not leave your office and have the opportunity to work out there, it's fantastic. But when people started working from home, then the classes got much smaller. But that's when the rise of virtual became so much more popular. And then people realized, oh, I can work out when I'm traveling, and all of that played into each other there.
And how can we manage this fear and maybe stay positive no matter the situation and look forward to a positive tomorrow?
Yeah. And again, that mindset of, that the nature of your business might not be long term. Now, maybe someone listening to this is saying, but this is my business model. It is long term. I just know from my experience, it sometimes is and sometimes isn't. And from the entertainment industry side of things, I mean, that I yearn for something long term. And when it happens for someone, that's incredible. Someone gets a long running Broadway show and they have a job for 7 years. Oh my gosh, that is practically unheard of in the entertainment industry. We often see, on TV, someone who has been now in our public eye for many years, and we think, oh, well, that's how it is. Once you become an actor, eventually you become one of those people, like, Steve Carell. He keeps popping up. Reese Witherspoon, like these people never go away, but they've worked so hard and they're also the tiniest percentage. The norm for a performer is a stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. So if you don't get the mindset around that of this is the reality very often, and we can work so hard to find things that are long term and more regular, but when you are looking to be an actor, a lot of the jobs are short term. Sometimes it's one day of work. You might make a lot of money for one day, and you might not make a lot of money for one day. And so when you do get something a little longer term, we celebrate it, but we also know again that the nature of that industry. And with fitness and health coaching, there is there always is another client who comes out of the woodwork. And I know I find that sometimes it's the most unexpected ways. I've had people reach out to me that I knew 20 years ago, but they've seen me post on social. So they knew that I was in this health coaching world and they've reached out. And then Google, sometimes someone will find me out of the blue and say, I'm training for my wedding. I need a trainer for the next 8 weeks. What can we still accomplish in 8 weeks that is not too late. So there's a lot of ways that clients find you. And I think if you just keep trusting that that's the way it is, they will come and go, but you just keep working to be found. You keep working to adapt to both the client at hand and also for future clients, that you stay up on what is going on, those aspects are very important.
Awesome, awesome. And you've mentioned about being in the entertainment industry and also as a fitness trainer. Which one did you transition from?
Actually, it's both at the same time. So I've been a performer for so long, and that is my main passion. I love it. I love interacting with audiences. And since the pandemic, I've had a podcast as well, where, like you, I get to interview people all over the world. And it's called Be the Good with Kate. It's all about what people are doing to make the world a better place, our quote unquote regular everyday people. And those sorts of things bring me such joy. And along the way, I discovered fitness as it really, they talk about transferable skills so often, and there are so many between entertainment and fitness. Teaching a class, I'm standing up in front of people presenting, right? We have a back and forth. You can think of it as a stage in your audience, but with a lot more interaction. That aspect. I love motivating people, so I love that. And they really all do play hand in hand. And side bonus, you get paid to work out. Nice bonus, right? So
Yeah, that's a very good bonus.
yes, yes. So that's kind of how they both came to play. And then as a working actor in New York City, after graduating college, you need to have a job to pay the bills if you don't have a performing job right out of the gates. And even if you do, like I said, so often it's short term. So to have another job that will be continuous and more regular. So teaching classes was my very regular set paycheck. I'm on a schedule. That's not as much of a freelancing world. But the personal training, the health coaching, that has come over the years. And I've done less of the classes in person and now shifting to the virtual, which is much more freelance because this is all me and I have the platform and I've created it all. So now I get to have some health coaching clients, but then I really get to focus also on this virtual class platform where people can take it from anywhere, where I can be anywhere while teaching. And it's not live, so I record and then post it, which is great for me as someone who's in many different directions. And it's also great for the participant because they aren't stuck on a schedule. So when their life gets changed around and if they can't work out the same time that they want to, they can still take a class at another point in the day.
Awesome, awesome. Talking about posting on social media, sometimes I advise most people that join the industry, I tell them that the more you show up, the more many people are likely to see you and see what you offer, and then maybe start asking about your services. How has it been for you showing up without that fear? Like, this is social media.
I find it hard because I don't like posting the me, that kind of a feel, right? But as you just people in marketing say, you're not selling, you're sharing your passion. I heard that there's a fantastic TV hosting coach named Barbara Barnett Abel, and she talks about that. And I think someone else said it to her first, but she says, you're not selling, you're sharing your passion. And I think if we remembered that, that is very helpful. At least it is for me too. And I also find it really helpful if what I'm sharing, I feel like it is benefiting someone. So it's not like I'm just going, hi, I have, a spot open for a health coaching client. You should call me. It's not that. It's, hey, like, let's talk about this topic of health. And by the way, if you want to talk more about it, you can reach out to me. Or it's show them an exercise. If you like this, on my teaching platform, I have a course that you can purchase one time. It's called the 101 series, and it will break down exercises for you so you don't feel overwhelmed. But giving them a nugget of wisdom or something helpful and tie that in to the sale aspect, so to speak. I think that's really helpful on social media too. But it's definitely true that the more you show up, the more people realize what you're doing. And that's why I've had someone reach out to me from 20 years ago who said, can you help me with this? That's why I've had different people reach out over the years who I had that I didn't even know were looking for someone like me, that has worked out well.
Wow, it feels good to have a previous client reach out to you after so many years. There is that satisfaction that comes with it because you feel, okay, it means I did a good job.
I hope so, or at least that they liked you as a person, which is also a great reminder too. In this world of lots of social media, anyone from your life can find you unless you have it privatized and you go through all that. But so if you did burn bridges in the past, then they're not going to reach out to you now. But if you have been nice and warm to everyone that you come in contact with, even if you think, oh, I'll never see this person again, you never know.
Yeah, you never know when your paths cross. It might be,
Yes.
it might be somewhere. Yeah, it happens. And how many years have you been a performer and in that industry?
Yeah. Professionally since 2008. So how many years is that now? Is that 16? 16? Yeah.
Oh, that's a long time. You're now an expert. Like you have a lot.
I don't know.
And coaching people.
That has come over time. So it kind of was, I don't want to say accidentally, but it kind of just started to happen as I was teaching. And so I guess the coaching really started to increase probably around 2015, 16. And then throughout the pandemic is really where that became more of a focus, aspect.
I love your growth.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And since we have that, we were talking about the fear of not knowing where the next client or the next job will come from. How do we build that confidence of speaking? I know you speak in front of people, you teach people, that means you have that confidence. How do I get that confidence if I'm invited to a meeting, or if I want to talk about the services I offer, I don't have to maybe switch off the camera, start getting scared. How do I get that confidence?
One is doing it. And it sounds like you're like, well, wait, how can I do it if I'm scared to do it? But the more that you practice, the easier it becomes. I like to call it a muscle. It's same thing with auditioning as a performer. When you haven't auditioned in a really long time, it's so much scarier to go to that audition. If you audition like every other day, then you're like, ah, it's just, showing up again. I'm doing my thing.
It's normal.
So the more opportunities, exactly, yes, and the more you can do it in front of people, even if it's just something like so small, whatever you can think of that is a small way to talk in front of people. Oh my gosh, even a transferable skill again would be, calling someone you don't know on the phone, even if it's like your insurance company, but just again, getting the practice of having to speak to someone that you don't know and you don't know what their reaction is going to be, talking to someone in the grocery store. All of those seemingly little things can really help you get that muscle, so to speak, of I can talk to someone who I don't know, where it's not rehearsed and I don't know how they're going to react to me. And because the other thing to remember, and this again helps me, see if it helps you or not, is people want to like you, right? Unless you are, I don't know, the IRS coming for you, people want to know, like if you stand up and they're there and they're a paying client, or they're someone who's reaching out as a potential paying client, they want you to be what they need. They want you to be what they need. And that reminder is a nice boost of confidence too, of showing up for someone and just saying what you already love. Like you're in this business as a freelancer because you love it. You could have a lot easier time just going to a job that has a guaranteed paycheck. But a freelancer, it's like that's a passion forward position to be in. So the more that you can share your passion, the more other people will be drawn to
Wow, I love it.
that.
You chose a topic that you totally understand well. And at the same time, it is something that my audience is going to relate with because we struggle a lot. And when you tell someone to show up every day on social media, they're like, I shy. I don't want to post. What are people going to think about me? When you tell someone to come, like now for the interview, let's talk about something, someone is like, no, unless my camera is not on.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I want to
It is that, yeah.
Yeah, I one time got into a meeting with a client. He was meeting a team of SEO experts. So we had that meeting. I was there as the VA. And then one year later, I get an email from one of them, one of the SEO experts. He's referring me to his friend. So I'm like, okay, had I said I can't appear on camera, then I couldn't have found this client.
Yes, exactly. It just keep opening those doors because you never know where they're going to lead.
Yeah, sometimes when you keep hiding, you you send some clients away. Those that were about to hire you, those you are going to be exposed to, they they don't get to know you. So when you get that confidence and come on camera or talk about what you offer, it makes it easier to market your services, like you are exposing yourself to the world and to the people that didn't know you exist.
Yes, yes. And you know how marketing is and how the algorithms of media or just your websites in general are. You need to keep doing it for people to know that you exist and that you are still doing whatever the it is. So it doesn't always have to be posting about the sale or the course or something. It can just be posting about your life or a nice quote or something that just again shows there. So you're showing up in people's minds and feeds.
Yeah, because when someone shows up on my feed, I always go and check who is this that has been showing up on my feed every now and then. I'll click on that link, go to the profile, and then somehow check on that person and see who he is. So when we show up, people are interested to know who is this person and why has the person been posting about this specific topic. Another thing that you'd like to share with my audience that I didn't ask you.
Oh, I guess just that push to, it's easier said than done to say don't be afraid to show up and to talk in front of people and to share your passions. But just to re-emphasize that the more that you practice it, big or small ways. And the more that you frame it as you're sharing your passions because you know that it can help someone else, I think that will really help people. And thank you. And thank you for inviting me on to talk about this, Ladaya.
It's my pleasure. I'm happy to learn from you, and I'm glad you found me.
Thanks. That was really wonderful connection.
If someone wants to talk to you, reach out to you about the coaching or training or something that is related to your industry, how did the person get to you or reach out to you?
Great. So myname.com, katechericello.com. You can find the podcast on there. You can find the fitness link on there. So that's the easiest way, katechericello.com. I'm sure that'll be in the show notes with how to spell it. And then on Instagram directly at positively_Kate. LinkedIn, Kate Chericello. So very easy to find me, especially with a last name like Chericello. I'm the only one. So you can find me online.
Yeah, it's a unique name. I'm hearing it for the first time.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, thank you, Kate, for showing up. Thank you for your time and thank you for your patience. Technology can sometimes embarrass you big time.
No worries, I've been there. I've been there. And
All right.
thank you again. This was so delightful to connect, and I hope you stay in touch and let me know how I can share things on your side as well.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode of the Freelancers Mic. A big thank you to Kate Chericello for joining us and talking about the fears of not having the next client. I hope you all found her tips and insights helpful as I did. If you want to learn more from Kate, check out the show notes for her contact information. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the episode with your freelancing friends. Thank you for listening in. Until next time, keep pushing forward and remember, we have got your back.